he set up the first trilingual interpreter training program, and that was in Santa Fe, New Mexico, at Santa Fe Community College. But among his various achievements, I think he was just such a wonderful person. And if I'm not mistaken, he was born in Mexico, but spent a lot of his life in the U.S. So was one of these people who, like our presenter earlier, was fluent in various languages and was a very much of an advocate for the deaf community. So what we'd like to do, as you will see, in your program, the conference itself, this year's conference, is dedicated to his memory. It's in kind of a very small way, something that we can do to remind ourselves of just the stature of this individual. Like I said, he was the director of this program, this interpreter training program, and beyond that, he was involved in so much more. And in addition to just thinking about Ralph Sedano for a few minutes, I think that we'd like to just take a moment to think about anyone else who may have passed on in recent, since our last conference or even before then, who may be associated with some of the things that we hold in our hearts. The deaf community, the Latino community, Spanish, culture, and everything that's kind of wrapped up within. But just to take a moment to think about Ralph and to think about anyone else who has passed on. If you have other names, you're welcome to mention them at this point.
Those of us in Texas would like to honor and recognize Jerry Hassel. He was a co-founding person of Intertribal Deaf Council and very active for many years and passed away in Texas.
So that's Jerry Hassel from Texas, who was co-founder of the Intertribal Deaf Council, one of the leaders of that group, and passed away this year, Mary? Yeah, this year. Thank you. So what I'm going to do is turn it over to Angela, and she'll tell you a little bit about a scholarship that we're thinking about that would be set up in Ralph Sedano's memory. And then that will lead into some other things that we're going to take care of over the course of the next little bit here.
One of the things that we want to do is we will be sending a framed copy of the dedication to the family, to Val and to Anna Marie, Ralph's daughter, which they had requested, and they were very touched by the fact that he was being recognized at this time. We also will be giving a $200 donation to the family to support them at this time. One thing we were considering, because Ralph was very strong, as a deaf individual, very strong about the need for trilingual interpreters. It's one of the reasons he was involved in the trilingual program in Santa Fe. And we feel that it's very important for Mano to recognize that and continue that legacy. So one of the things that we hope to establish is a committee to establish a scholarship fund that in Ralph Sedano's name, to be able to continue that legacy, to be able to bring someone to a conference or to help them in some way to continue their professional development, because that's what Ralph worked so much for. And in contact with his family, communication with them, they felt that this very much would be something that very much would honor him. So as we're going to be talking about different things this afternoon, we hope that you're thinking about how you can get involved. Remember this morning we talked about it starts with me, each individual. What can you do? It could be a committee, it could be a resource. We all have skills and talents. Sometimes we don't even realize how much that are needed to really be able to push this forward. So one will be a committee specifically to focus on that. Speaking of scholarships, the next thing that we'll be covering in this program, we'll be talking about